Okay, on May 31st, I planted 7 Virginia jumbo peanut seeds. Peanuts grow. A lot of people don't know that peanuts actually grow underground. They start out as a flower, and then they grow from the flower. These pegs grow. As you can see, the pegs were starting to grow outside the box, so I had to put a grow bag on the side of the grow box, the garden bed, the raised garden bed, so that the pegs could have somewhere to plant themselves in the soil, so that the peanuts could form under the soil. I was able to grab a grow bag and put it on one side of the garden raised bed, but I didn't have another bag to put on the other side where I showed you the long pegs that were growing outside. And those pegs actually had already dried out, so they wouldn't have formed a peanut anyway. But on the side where the grow bag is, those pegs weren't quite brown and hadn't dried out, so we still had a chance of getting some peanuts on those pegs. So we filled it up with some compost and some soil, mixed it all around, and added some bone meal, and laid the pegs on the side of the soil so they can plant themselves.
Help my old lady. Yeah.
Got some peanuts.
Pull these peanuts up. See what's been going on.
It's not quite. These are jumbo Virginia peanuts. It's not quite 150 days, but we're supposed to have a whole lot of rain next week, so we need to get these out while it's dry and shake the dirt off. So once you pull them out of the soil, you got to lay them out to dry for a few days. Like I said, we don't have a lot of time because it's supposed to rain, so we're gonna let them lay out on some pallets in the sun to dry.
It smells good.
You can smell it.
Yeah.
What does it smell like?
Just peanuts.
Ooh.
Fresh peanuts. Maybe some peanut butter, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Alright, so we'll sit these over there.
Yep. Got a lot of peanuts. I'm shocked. For our first time growing peanuts, this is pretty good. And we planted 7 seeds. Hopefully y'all can see. Okay. The sun is bright. All the peanuts. I had to come over here away from the peanut plant because the sun is so bright. But once we lay the peanuts out to dry, then for a while, then we'll pick them off the plant and put them in something so they can continue to dry out, and then we can unshell them and roast them. Look at all those peanuts. I can smell the peanuts. Yeah, really? Okay. The sun is not being my friend right now. You think we did good?
Yeah, you did great for your first one. It's a lot of peanuts.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all can see. And once we pull the peanuts off of the plant, we'll put the plant back in the soil and turn it over so that it can decompose into the soil, because the peanut plant has a lot of nitrogen. You can see in the roots. Okay, as I mentioned before, we were going to take the peanuts off the plant. We had to bring them in from outside off of the pallets because we were expecting a lot of rain the next week. Normally, you would want them to sit out and sunbathe to dry out for about 1 to 2 weeks, but we just didn't have that type of space or time with all of this rain that we were expecting the next week. So I went on and brought the plants inside and pull the peanuts off of the roots, off of the pegs. And now I'm going to rinse them off and continue to rinse them until I see the water get a lot cleaner than what it was when I first started. So this is the first rinse that I'm doing right now. I'm just pressing down the peanuts into the water, moving them around to try to get some of that soil off of the shells. And take them out and put them in the bowl. I let them sit in there for about a minute. It's not long at all, just enough to try to get some of that loose soil off. I'm gonna take them out, and I'm going to repeat this process 3 more times. Okay, now I'm finishing up this 4th rinse. You see the water is a lot clearer than what it was when I first started. It wasn't completely clean, but I'm not worried too much because we're not going to eat the shell. So I went and got an old towel that I've used for the garden, and I'm going to lay the peanuts out flat, trying to keep them in one layer so that I can pet dry the shells, trying to get as much water off as possible so that when I put them in the oven to dry them out, it won't take as long. And you don't have to be real fancy with this. You just lay them out on the towel. Try not to make sure that they're not on top of each other. Just lay them out in a single layer on the towel so they're not overlapping. Once I finished laying them out, then I took the towel and I just folded it over and just started petting the peanuts dry as much as possible. If some of the peanuts move when you fold the towel over, it's okay. It's because you want to get all sides of the peanut shells petted dry as much as possible. And don't press down too hard because you don't want to crack the shells. Now that the peanuts are done being patted dry, I'm going to lay them in a single layer on a baking sheet to put them in the oven at 300 degrees, which is kind of low, to dry them out. I don't want to quite roast them at this point. I'm just trying to dry the shells out until they become brittle when you squeeze them. So I'm going to lay them out on the baking sheet on a single layer. And all that I can fit on this baking sheet, and then I'll grab another one because all of them wouldn't fit, and put the rest on another baking sheet and put them in the oven at 350 degrees. Now that I have them on the baking sheets, I'm going to put them in the oven. I read online that you should dry them out in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 150 degrees Celsius, for 25 minutes. But when I did 25 minutes, they weren't quite dry, so I put them in for another 20 minutes to continue the drying process. After 45 minutes, take the baking sheet of peanuts out and squeeze one of them to make sure that they are dry. They should be dry by then, but if not, pop them in for about another 5 to 10 minutes and then check them again. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. We hope that your craving for learning how to grow Virginia Jumbo peanuts was met. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, like this video, hit that notification button so you're notified when we upload our next video. And always remember, life is good. Even when you think it's not, it's still good. Until next time, guys, have a great day.